Hey Dragon Slayers! Today's video is all about micronutrient tracking for accelerated fat loss. The entire point of the PE diet is choosing foods that have higher PE ratios so you can intuitively have a higher satiety at a lower energy intake without really having to track anything at all. But if you find that your fat loss has stalled, or if you really want some extreme results, the next step would be tracking your macros. Start with a good app for your smartphone. Dr. Naiman's favorites are Cronometer, and his second favorite is myfitnesspal. Both of those apps allow you to enter everything you're eating, and they will keep track of your grams of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Because your goal is the highest lean mass at the lowest fat mass possible, you want protein grams to be higher than your energy grams. A good rule of thumb is targeting protein at about 1 gram per day per pound of ideal body weight. Not what you currently weigh, but what you probably should weigh. A rough estimate of ideal body weight for a woman is around for a woman that is 100 is 100 pounds for the first 5 feet of their height, and then 5 pounds for every additional 5 feet, or for every additional inch over 5 feet. For a man, the estimate would be 110 pounds for the first 5 feet of his height, and then an additional 5 pounds for every inch over 5 feet. For example, the average male in America is almost 5'10" tall. So the ideal body weight for a man that weighed with a height of 5'10" would be around 160 pounds. Let's ignore for a moment the fact that the average American male weighs 198 pounds. The average female in America is 5'4". So her ideal body weight would be about 120 pounds. And then again, we can stop for a moment and lament at the fact that the average adult female weighs 171 pounds. So the male who is 5'10" tall would target around 160 grams of protein a day. A female who is 5'4" tall would target around 120 grams of protein per day. Keep in mind that these are the minimum targets and would be perfectly okay to exceed this number. But what about fat and carbs? Well, since the idea is to eat more protein and less energy, fat and carbohydrate goals are limits to stay beneath rather than targets to meet or exceed, like protein. If you are looking for really aggressive fat loss, then targeting about fat grams about half of your protein target and your carb grams also about half of your protein target. So that would be 80 grams of fats and 80 grams of carbs a day for a male who is 5'10" and 60 grams of carbs and 60 grams of fat per day for a female who is 5'4" tall. You may have to adjust these values for the non-protein energy calories if you are highly active and very hungry on the plan. But it's a very good place to start. So when I first started this plan, I went very extreme. I had essentially 0 grams of carbs or fats for the first week or so. And yes, I was definitely ravenously hungry. So that's where I started to use eggs as a source of fat, but also additional protein. So instead of pounding cheese like I used to on keto or drowning everything in butter, I mean, I was easily eating at least 8 tablespoons of butter a day, if not more, on some days. Each tablespoon is 14 grams of fat. So yeah, I mean, do the math. It's insane. That would be 14, 28, 56. Yeah, so I was getting well over 80 plus grams of fat every day. And then it was just wasted. Not that it didn't taste good, but it was not helping me lose weight at all. So these are good general guidelines. And my personal tip to all of you is do not obsess about your weight. I would use these numbers to help you get in a right nutrition zone, but focus on health and nutrition first and foremost and always. If your weight bothers you, throw away your scale, remove the batteries. Health is far more important than weight. Once you are healthy, truly healthy in every aspect, your weight will eventually come down. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can support me, Patreon. The link is down in the description below. And remember that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.